Right guys, welcome back to another video, and again you're seeing me with the complete set of the polymer banknotes over here, which I actually completed again this year, and their paper banknote counterparts. So first we will look at the paper banknotes and then the polymer banknotes, and then we'll compare them together, to see the differences. Now there are some very obvious differences and there's some barely noticeable differences, and I want to show you guys those differences, and maybe in the next video I'll be making a video about how to check the security features of the polymer banknotes and the paper banknotes as well, because they are still co-circulating, so of course in one way or another you might get a fake, a counterfeit in either of these. But anyways, let's start off first with the paper notes. So what I have here are paper notes from 50 to 1000. Just slide my hand over here. So we've got the 50 over here, which is the smallest bill in the polymer notes. So we've got 50, we've got 100, we've got a 500, and we've got 1000. Now there are some, very noticeable things like these lines here on the sides. Now these lines are called tactile lines, so they are supposed to be for the visually impaired people, so if you touch them you may be able to feel them. The only problem with these lines is that they're on paper banknotes, and when these paper banknotes gets used too much, you won't feel the tactile lines and it will be kind of useless. And on these paper banknotes you could see people, former presidents, to be more specific. You could see motifs on the sides that relate to these presidents or relate to these people. So for example, on the 50 we have the former president Sergio Osmeña in the first National Assembly of 1907, and then you have the later Gulf landing of October 1944. Or in the 100 we have former President Manuel A. Rojas, and over here on the left side is the Central Bank of the Philippines back in 1949, or the BSP. And over here on the right side is the inauguration of the Third Republic, which is 4th of July 1946. Now I want to give you a little fun fact that the 4th of July of 1946 was our actual Independence Day, but we recognize June 12th of 1899 or 1898 as our Independence Day. I believe it's 1899, and it's because that the 12th June of 1899 was like, we fought for the independence, so we struggled for the independence against the Spaniards. Meanwhile, this was basically just a colonial handover. America had to drop us because they had other things to do. I mean, they could have chosen not to, but they chose to do so, which is why we got fully independent in 1946. And then up next is the 500 peso banknote. So we have former President Corazon C. Aquino and former Senator Benigno S. Aquino Jr. Now, another fun fact is that on the old version of this banknote, it was only the Senator Benigno Aquino Jr. But in this banknote, it's both of them, him and his wife. And over here on the left side is obviously the EDSA People Power 1, February 1986, which we commemorate every February. And I actually have a coin that commemorates it. I believe it's actually under the camera. Let me just get it. I actually haven't told you guys about this, but I got some new coins from my grandmother, and these all came from my great-grandmother. Now this is the coin commemorating the People Power Revolution of 1986 from February 22 to 25. I believe we celebrate one of those dates, 22 I think. Republic of the Philippines, 1988. So this was 2 years after. And for any foreigners watching this, why does it say EDSA People Power 1? We had two more EDSA People Power revolutions. The third one, the recent one, was back in the 2000s. But yeah, anyways, let's skip to the next banknote. Now, this banknote, this 1,000 peso banknote, is actually an exception. They don't have any precedents, but they have World War II heroes who were captured by the Japanese. And these three, this is Jose Abad Santos, this one is Jose Fallanes Escoda, this one is Vicente Lim. Over here on the left side is the centennial of Philippine independence. Okay, this was 1898. Okay, so it was in 1998 that we celebrated the centennial, and the Independence Day was back in 1898. And in actually in an older version of the note, back in 2010, I think, when the first of these were released, there was another one in here, and it was the motif of the Medal of Honor. I believe I have a photo of that, but I don't know why they removed it for some reason. But it was quite bizarre seeing that, but it was quite cool actually. And now, if you notice, why did I say that? Notice. If you notice, these are recent issues. Being 2025. This one's 2021, and they all have the new security features. But yeah. Anyways, let's go on now with the polymer notes. Now, these polymer notes feature animals. Here in the 50, we have a Visayan leopard cat, or the Prione. Oh my gosh, I'm just not gonna read the Latin name or the scientific name. So obviously, this cat is endemic to Visayas, and in this upper window right here is one of our flowers around here, endemic flowers here in the Philippines. So we have a Visayan leopard cat on the 50. We got a Palawan peacock pheasant on the 100. We got a Visayan spotted deer on the 500. And then we got our national bird, the Philippine eagle, along with the national flower here in the 1000. So yeah, I actually don't know what to explain because I don't know things about animals, but I do know things about people. But otherwise, I want to compare these banknotes, from the 50 to the 1000. I want to compare the difference in the design, the elements and stuff. I'm no artist, though I do draw, but it is quite mediocre. But I just want to compare these as, a banknote collector's point of view. And as a collector, you have to I don't even know what to say, but as a collector, in my own standards, I collect banknotes because they look beautiful. I collect banknotes because they caught my eye. I collect banknotes because they are shiny, they have shiny security features, and I like the designs as well. I collect banknotes because some of these banknotes are, again, it's just the design, it's just the security features. I don't collect them for their value. I may have bought pretty expensive banknotes in the past before, especially the most recent one was back in October when I bought 100 Danish kroner banknote, which cost me about 800 pesos. But I did not buy that banknote for its value. I bought that banknote because it looked beautiful. In my own standards, I bought that banknote because the elements of the banknote, the security features of the banknote caught my eye, and I've actually wanted to get that banknote, that specific banknote, for years now. So obviously I would be willing to pay for it, and again, it caught my eye, so obviously I bought it myself. But anyways, enough of that. Let us, check the differences. Now let's start off with the 50. So obviously the big difference you see in the 50 is that instead of Sergio Osmeña, you see a Visayan leopard cat. Okay, let me just, I got this. And you can see the motifs here on the sides, they're gone, which is why the new polymer banknotes look and feel so clean. and the tactile dots here on the sides are gone. And you know, they replaced it with something much better, and it's these tactile dots up here. And you know, I'm just so glad. This is a win. This is actually a win, because I wanted a accessibility feature in one of our banknotes before, and you know, I don't I don't like it. I don't want that visually impaired people get scammed or get cheated on just because you know they were fooled to pay the wrong amount of money. So now they just have to touch these dots, and that's a really great thing. And there's some design differences here. You can see the 50 moved here under the window. Meanwhile, the 50 is over here. You can see the logo of the Philippine Republic and the logo of the BSP is now moved here. Now, I don't know why they did that, but I'm pretty sure the logo of the central bank changes like once in a blue moon or something, or every 10 years. So I don't think it's a great idea that they've put it there, but you know, it's part of the symbolism, I guess. And then instead of the latent image up here, you could see a clear window, a flower. And this 50 right here, this 50, its font have changed, and the date here, 2025, it moved from below the denomination to being much more below. I don't even know what's the word, but it moved further down, and it's near the serial number. So here on the 100, it's basically the same design elements, the design differences, as I may say. So you know, the tactile dots are gone. I mean, the tactile lines are gone. It's been replaced with the dots, and you know, there's no more motifs on the sides, as you can see. So it feels more clean, and you can see the date has moved further down. The font changed. The latent image is now a window. Yeah, I forgot to mention there's a biggest clear window here on the side, and over here there's a security thread in the middle over here, which has been replaced with a shadow security thread over there. You can see that black line, it's a shadow security thread. That's actually in the 50 as well, but the 50 has an embedded security thread, which I forgot to mention. Up next is the 500 peso banknote. And you could see that, yeah, there's people in the paper ones, but in the polymer one, there's obviously an animal. And over here on the sides, there's motifs. In the polymer one, there's no motifs. Here in the paper note, they have this thing over here. It's an OVD, or an optical viable patch. And over here, there's none. And there's a security thread over here. And you can see the tactile lines being replaced with the dots, and you can see this rolling bar effect security feature, which I think it's the same font or just got smaller. And you can see here the date again moved much further down, and you can see here that the polymer window is quite different. This polymer window has holograms in it, or shiny stuff in it, which is what I like about polymer notes. They have shiny stuff in them. Meanwhile, this paper banknote has a much more complex security thread. You can see that. It looks very nice. Okay, we'll move on to the last one, which is the 1000 peso note. This is the most common polymer banknote so far, the 1000 peso note. And obviously the reason is because this was released back in 2022. We've been using it for, I don't know, 5 years now actually. 5 years, and it's gonna be with us for 6 years. 2022, 2023, 2024, 2020, okay, it's actually just 4 years. 2022 to 2025 was 4 years. And it's gonna be almost 5 years. Now, there are some again, it's just the same differences, design differences. So this OVD right here is gone, latent image has been replaced with clear window, the rolling call effect I think got smaller. It's just the same font, and the date is kind of on the same position, since this one is quite big. The 1000 here is quite big, and the security thread, which is let's look at that one, which is this one. It looks more complex, but this one has again a holographic clear window. Oh no, I forgot to mention that the serial number over here has been moved down here. So yeah, and yeah, that's basically it actually. I don't know what else to do. So you might be wondering, why didn't I show the back? Well, it's just basically, it's still the same. They didn't change anything in the back, still the same design. If you want proof here, I'll show you. Doesn't make any difference. So that's the 1000 note. That's the 1000 polymer. That's the paper polymer. That's the 1000 paper. That's the 500 polymer. That's the 500 paper. 100 polymer. 100 paper. 50 polymer. 50 paper. So there isn't any changes, which is why I just did not bother to show them. But anyways, that's the video for now. Thank you so much for watching this. I accidentally spat on my camera, and I hope that you enjoyed this video and you learned something new, and I hope that you may be able to learn about history in banknotes in some way, which is also one of the reasons why I collect banknotes, to learn more about them. It's not just for the aesthetics, it's not just for the security features. It's basically that I just want to learn more about said country. So yeah, anyways, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you learned something new, and I hope that I could actually make that security features video, because I want to just inform you guys, you don't really want to get scammed. It sucks so bad. But anyways, that's it. Goodbye.